Okay, now we are live on Facebook. Folks, I'm sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. I'm trying to run the post on Facebook as well as YouTube, and it didn't work out too well.
Do we need to backtrack a little bit?
I think we should backtrack
Okay.
because I doubt we have very many people on our YouTube page listening.
Okay.
So let's just start from the starting place.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, man. We'll
We're getting better, but we've still got technical. Well, you might should do your opening then. and
Yes, let me do my opening. It's the traditional opening, folks. Welcome to Marion County Hardball. Sorry for the delay and the technical difficulties. I want to invite you all, if you enjoy Marion County Hardball, please go to the top of our Facebook page and make a contribution via our coffee page. We're in the process of creating a web page for the Marion County Messenger. It's going to have a lot of neat things on it, and it takes money to do that. So please consider sponsoring us. In addition, I want to extend an invitation to any politician that's running for office or currently holds office in Marion County to come on Marion County Hardball. We would love to get you on here and interview you. We don't care what party you belong to or if you don't belong to any party. And that invitation is also extended to our surrounding counties. So at this point, I'm going to hand off to Rurik. If you're following us on YouTube, we're going to repeat a few things, but there's more coming in the interview, so please stay tuned. Rurik, would you like to introduce our guest?
I would. We've got Ben Shankles. He's running for Marion County Mayor, and he has asked to come on tonight. He's been working really hard, not just from campaigning, but looking at different companies that could potentially come to Marion County. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Ben and let's recap some of the things that we just talked about.
Okay. First things first, we'll just kind of slim back over this here of what we were talking about before we got cut off. Property taxes for seniors that are over 60 that are on a fixed income. They've been looking at different ways that we could possibly do this, and one would be the fastest to get instated within the first 100 days in office, and that would be to take the $10,000 that you get as a mayor to
A stipend. Yeah.
To recruit businesses to come into the county, if successful, to come into the county. To take that money, and after considering it and thinking about it very comfortably, I could donate 25% of my gross annual income to help with this, to invest into the oil and gas sector, mostly out in Texas. It doesn't matter where you're at, you can invest. It don't matter if you've got oil wells out in the middle of Texas or in Wilson, North Dakota. They've got 5-well projects going on, 20-well projects going on. They've got saltwater disposal going on. Right now, at this very point, the Department of Energy has given out more incentives and tax reimbursements investing into the energy sector. So not only would we receive a rate of gain off the money that is invested, but we would receive a tax rebate as well, would go potentially back into that account to just raise up more income so we can combat with these rising property taxes and be able to have a leg to stand on within the first 100 days in office. And that is my doings. That is to get some help and some assistance to the people in this county that are over 60 that are not able to afford a lot of the rising costs of what's going on these days.
Let me clarify something to keep you out of trouble. That should you get or become mayor, you're willing to give the stipend to invest it, that $10,000. And I think can you just clarify, because I want to make sure that you're not offering your salary today of, of what you make. This is in the event when you become mayor.
Yeah, in the event that we win the election and we become Marion County Mayor. Now, this is going to have to be in writing. Obviously the SEC is going to have to be involved, even though it's money that is donated pretty much.
Sure,
it has to be accounted through the SEC. Then we're going to have to get the county commission together to sign off on it, because it's information that is being invested within residents of this county. Not only that, we're going to have the county attorney sign off on it to get this done. We have to do everything the legal way. And right now, if you was to just go out there and invest, FINRA, the SEC, and everybody else would be all over this county.
Yes, that was a question I had. What are the legal proprieties of that? I believe it's possible, but there would be a lot of legal technicalities and hoops you would have to jump through.
Well, and I think one of the things that with the motion that I got passed to start a tax freeze committee, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's not something that that you can just willy-nilly make happen. Obviously, They're going through that process, and I think Commissioner Abbott came back because he's the chairman of that committee, of the tax-free committee, and said that it was basically, well, I don't want to quote anyone, but what I'm assuming and what I heard was it was too difficult to administer.
Yeah, too difficult to administer and not cost effective.
And not cost effective.
Right.
So, at that point, you start to have to look at other avenues of how can we credit. Now, we can, as a county commission, we can reduce the tax burden, and obviously the CTR, the certified tax rate, we have to be careful on how we do it, but it can obviously be done. And as you know, this reassessment that has happened, I think it got some people's attention. I really think it did.
I believe it may have.
And with that, how your philosophy is, I'm going to try to bring businesses to Marion County and to spread that property tax burden on not just the locals that are here, but also the companies. And part of your task as mayor is to go out and get these companies to come in, not just developers, but to actually get companies to come in. So it sounds like you're already putting a foot forward or ready to do just that. So that's extremely exciting.
Ben, do you have any ideas as to, do you have any leads as to what kind of companies you would like to bring in, or anybody in mind?
Yes, there is a list, and I do mean a list of people that I have been in talks with for the past 3 years. More so, we've gained more over the past year. Now, I just want to point this out. Now, we're gonna have government contract companies come in. Now, whether that's directly through the DOD contract jobs, we're gonna have companies that contract for the DOD. They're going to have a brick and mortar here in Marion County. We're going to have, now this is another one that I'm working on. There's a company out of Alberta, Canada, that is a waste energy company. I'm going to get them to come in on a turnkey operation and set up within Marion County's landfill. Now, what this company does is it specializes in biofuel to burn off the waste, and it puts, as we're burning this waste, it puts power back on the Sequatchie Valley power grid so that people won't have to pay so much in power, in cost in power. Not only that, but the way that we've been doing burying trash is not the most efficient way to do things anymore. It has been in the past, but we haven't found a way to do the things that we have in this day and age until now. And the energy savings, the grants that the Department of Energy gives for companies and counties and local governments to participate in these programs is unbelievable.
Oh, that's great to hear. When you say Department of Defense, are you talking about weapons manufacturing or the service side for some of our equipment, or what type of Department of Defense manufacturing are you thinking?
More so on contracting for mechanical and the equipment repair.
Okay.
So let's just say you got Oshkosh Defense that signs a deal with the DOD.
For the trucks.
Yeah, for the FMTVs, the JLTVs, of course the MRAPs are still going on, but those contracts are bidded on by these companies for the Department of Defense. They're awarded, and then they subcontract out to companies like STS that are companies that these contractors rely on for these equipment and repairs. Oshkosh Defense has, I believe now the transition from the funding has now went to AM General on most things, because now they're using a Chevy chassis on most of everything that's being produced for AM General. So there's companies right there in contracting. Now contracting goes a long way. I mean, you've got security contracting jobs, you've got mechanical contracting jobs. I want to bring in as well, a chance for different levels, ranging from, people within the county to get higher education, for, bringing in a private company to set up at our airport, to where we're not funding the airport. Now, take into consideration, like I said the last time, we were 95% state and federal funded money. Now, we as a county get a low interest rate when we take those grants, but those grants do have to be paid back, and we're accruing interest as we go. So if we can bring in a private company like a flight academy to come in, which I've got one of those already in discussion. I started talking with this academy back in 2023. They're gonna come in and basically fund 50% of that airport with a new building, provide training for A&P certification and flight certification right there in our airport. So there takes 50% of the funding away.
And who was it, Duke, that mayoral candidate that had suggested on expanding the airport so that we could bring smaller corporate jets in here?
I believe it was Larry Monty.
I think it was. So you guys are on the same. You're on the same wavelength that we need that airport in order to actually grow. We need to be able to get those players or stakeholders in here with their aircraft.
Well, and the types of businesses you're talking about, if you're going to repair military trucks here, you're going to have to get them here somehow.
Now I want to clarify now. We're not, as of right now, there is one company that I am talks with that does equipment repair for military vehicles, and they are out of Missouri. I haven't got a confirmation on them just yet that are wanting to come in here. Contracting is, we're going to set up an agency. An agency is going to have a brick and mortar here in the county, so that if a person decides to go into contracting, they can go to that place of business, get a contracting job, whether that's Poland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada,
I
wherever.
understand better now. I was thinking that the actual repairs were going to occur here. What we're talking about is hooking people up with jobs.
Yes.
Okay. That makes I understand it a little bit better now.
Now, as far as the equipment repair,
Mhm.
There is a company, like I said, out of Missouri that refurbs military equipment, and they are actually looking at that property in between the freeway where Eddie Crabtree used to sell all the equipment.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they're actually looking at that.
Okay. That's excellent.
That's exciting. So I guess at that point, the next thing you'd have to work on is budgeting and figuring out how to work with our schools in order to get that labor pool has got to be skilled. So I would assume you got plans to work with Dr. Griffith and the school board to help them with maybe a co-op with these different companies to get kids over there to start learning
Yes.
those trades. So no, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic,
And,
yes.
and I like the fact that we've got to do something for the people that are natives from here. We can't have it's great, development is great. But when you have someone come in and an established neighborhood and they buy 2 or 3 lots and they put a multi-million-dollar homes in that established neighborhood, what do you think it does to all the surrounding property owners as far as the property tax is concerned?
Yes.
So to only be focusing as a mayor to try to get these big developers to come in. I like I said, there has to be a balance, and it has to grow slowly because our infrastructure obviously can't handle it.
Right.
So we have to address that as well. So you're a forward-thinking person, and I think it's fantastic that we're discussing this right now, because I'm trying to think, maybe you know, what businesses in the last 5 years have come in to the county?
Well, I know of course, Food City has come into the
But
county.
that's
Kimball. Outside of the major cities, I don't know of any.
I mean, granted that our fund balance as you know, our fund balance is very healthy, but that's a direct result of the development, the 2 or 3 developments, and maybe more, that have come into Marion County, which has brought the outsiders.
One thing, I have a Native American friend, Cherokee friend, who takes exception with us identifying ourselves as native in Marion County. Okay.
That's right.
I would point that out. But yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine Mr. and Mrs. Dragon Canoe would have a case of the butt if they heard a lot of the conversations about, I like the word or the term newcomer.
Yes.
But we got to remember fund balances are benefiting our schools.
That's right.
That's a big deal, and that's something I'd like to get. What are you thinking on how you'll be able to broach working with the school and working with the school leadership?
Now, I have met the majority of the school board. It's been a while since I've been over there, but I've met them. Dr. Griffith, very good friend of mine. Know him very well. Got a good relationship with him. I'm actually the one that gave him here a couple of years back, and he'll remember this. But when I went to D.C. to meet with a few congressmen and both of our U.S. senators, I actually stopped in through the United States Board of Education and got some contacts off of the grants, the people that were controlling the grants over the state of Tennessee, and gave him those contacts.
I imagine he appreciated that.
He did, and unfortunately, and then I don't really hold this back, I have seen kindergarten talent shows run with more efficiency than our federal government. I'll just be completely honest with you. Now, our states run good. Our local government is starting to pick up. But our federal government, No more comment.
No, well, we're here today because of Marion County.
We're here for local stuff.
We'll stick on that. You're probably seeing some of the chatter, the social media chatter that's been going on. Some of it's been, we'll say feisty. Is that a good word?
Feisty is a good word. Yes,
Maybe feisty. And it's all in the name of politics. And somehow we've lost sight of debating policy. Instead, it goes deeper and it goes in personality and just being brutal. Where do you think, with your candidacy, and should you become mayor, what would be one of the things that you'll do to try to kind of unify us and get us back together?
One of the things is the majority of the people through the county commission as well as the planning commission, I know the majority of everyone that's there. Most of everybody here in this county are good people.
I agree.
There, you got some few there, yeah, you got an exception here and there. But most of everybody here in this county are good people. Whether you're in charge of local government, the majority of them I know, and they're good people.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, there are some differences, and this has to go back to the political side of the parties. Unfortunately, there are differences between the parties that kind of get, how do you put it, enforced within decisions. You know that as well as I do. We have got to get out of Democrat and Republican, and we need to sit down away from the parties and discuss what's better for this county.
Good.
We need to take out of personal interest. We need to take out of personal gain. And we need to focus on the young generation and the people that are here in this county to better this for every single one that lives here. And there is a way to do that, and that is invest in education and invest in jobs and invest in opportunities, not just in income, but provide the education there so that kids coming out of school, people that have lived here that have not had an opportunity to make, a lot of money. That's what I'm bringing to the county.
Okay.
That's what I want to focus on. We can leave that other stuff at the door, and we can come back to it at a different time.
I tell you what, I don't know about you, Duke, but I think he was rounding up a closing, and I think he just did it.
I think he just did it.
So, but in all seriousness, Duke, do you have anything?
I don't have anything else, Ben. If you want to make a final statement.
Yeah, I am Ben Shankles, and like I said, I'm running for mayor of Marion County this year. I'm running as an independent because I think we need to get away from the party system, and we need to focus on the people that are in this county. Now with that, I would appreciate you vote, and I will do my best to help everybody in this county to better his or herself in the following next 4 years and the years yet to come.
Ben, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna close this stream down. Give us about 5 minutes to reset, and we will be back with Michael Scott Burnett.